This falls into the whole Nightwing thing that I covered before. New Mutants. New Mutants is being compared to The Shining and a haunted house movie with teenagers, with teenage hormones pretty much running rampant. Goes on to say, great effort has been put into making sure they're differentiated. New Mutants is about these teenagers who are just coming into their powers. It's like watching mutants go through adolescence and they have no impulse control, so they're dangerous. The only solution is put them in a Breakfast Club detention, Cuckoo's Next institution setting. It protects the people on the outside, but it's strange and combustible inside. The genre is like a haunted house movie with a bunch of hormonal teenagers. We haven't seen it as a superhero movie whose genre is more like The Shining than where teenagers let's save the world. The New Mutants logo also came out too. It's like splattered in blood and everything like that. In case anybody forgot, Maisie Williams, a.k.a. Arya from Game of Thrones, is actually Wolfsbane in this. Who, by the way, really quick side note, they put out a video today of her and
Brienne of Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth. I always forget her name.
Gwendolyn something.
Gwendolyn, I forgot her name. Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
Practicing their thing. And, you know, for people that thought, that watched Game of Thrones, that thought, you know, the little knife trick that she did was just camera tricks. No! She actually did it. It was, like, amazing. Like, it was, like, seamless. They go through her emotions. They're trying, and she literally did the thing. She goes to stab, and then she flipped it, like, spun, like, 2-3 times, and then she caught it perfectly. It was like, whoa! Dude! Like, she's badass! Like, that was not a camera trick. Like, it was just like, I can't imagine how many times she did it, too.
I know.
But, yeah, so, I'm liking that we're starting to go backwards a little bit and get some grittier superheroes. And then people go like, oh, Suicide Squad and Deadpool. Deadpool was foul-mouthed and gritty in terms of action, but it was still kind of...
lighthearted and comedic.
Still lighthearted and comedic. Suicide Squad, whatever. I don't really like that. You know, the Batman movies, you want to... They're not quite that gritty. It's still Batman. They still need kids to be able to go see it. It's nice to see, like, you know, again, Nightwing, they're going there with his parents dying in the circus area. They're doing all that stuff.
Good.
And again, I'm liking that we're going to get back to harken more to, like, The Crow, a comic movie that was very dark, very gritty. If you want to go a little bit like Blade, very gritty. Yeah. You know, beat 'em up, very gritty. So I'm looking forward. You know, Blade also a lot of blood, and I like that. You know, so I'm looking really. I'm starting to get excited for New Mutants. I want to start seeing some pictures of them in costume. I want to start seeing. I can't wait to start see some like maybe a teaser trailer or something. Like I'm really excited to see what they have for New Mutants. This, I mean, especially being exactly done the greatest by the X-Men universe at all. New Mutants is actually kind of exciting. Also, now keeping with some Marvel news, it would seem it hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's pretty much
I think I know where you're going with this.
Solidified. It's looking like Inhumans is canceled before it's even out. They said despite the fact that it actually did somewhat decently in its theater run, the way they're advertising it is come out and see the entire story unfold. Or actually, they said the story in its entirety. So by them saying the complete series. So by them putting it in those words, it pretty much tells you there's not going to be a season 2, and it looks like it's pretty much canceled before it even had hit the air. So, yeah. And we pretty much called this from the beginning, just from the still photos alone, the way the costumes looked, and a lot of preliminary stuff looked. It looked bad. And then when I did the report saying that they wanted it done as quickly and as cheaply as possible, it showed.
Yep.
You know, you could have the best director in the world, but if you don't give him all the right tools to work with, there's only so much he can do. You know, I mean, granted, they hired on a director that was known for doing stuff like this, but again, you gave him practically nothing to work with. So it seems like, what was the point of this? It's almost kind of like the shelved She-Hulk movie that they spent money, they made it, and nobody's ever seen the light of day of this.
It's basically to fill in some sort of gap, because the next phase of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be based within space, and the Inhumans are a detrimental part of the space story arcs that they do have going on in comic books. So it's like, it's almost one of those things of here's some characters you need to know about, and here's a little bit of story you need to know about, but we don't need to dedicate a whole thing to them. Because if you remember, in Humans, it was supposed to be a movie.
Yeah.
And remember how I was about it. So...
The acting doesn't even seem that great. I mean, with the exception of the guy that plays Ramsay Bolton, I mean, I wasn't really impressed by any of the acting or anything. And the guy that was playing Ramsay Bolton, it was Ramsay Bolton, you know, without the really twistedness to it, but it was just another evil character. All right.
Lockjaw's cute.
Lockjaw's cute, though. The giant-sized bulldog.
I know.
I would not want to walk that thing.
I don't want to have to pick up...
That's what I'm talking
about.
Yeah, no.
I'm not curbing that thing.
Hell no. Give me a ticket. Alright, jumping forward to Friday news. For you people that can't get enough of Wonder Woman, a.k.a. Gal Gadot, I got some spectacular news for you. Next Saturday, it'll be next Saturday as a matter of fact, next Saturday, Gal Gadot will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
Talk about someone whose star just in the last 2 months, like, I mean, they pretty much said she stole Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, she did.
And then just with, you know, they knocked it out of the park with the Wonder Woman movie, apparently. And everything like that. She's already got it. They said she's going to have a predominant role in the Flashpoint movie, which, if you've read Flashpoint, duh, she has to. And everything like that. And of course, obviously, she's got a big role in the Justice League movie. Well, let's face it, she's part of the Trinity, the three that created it. Even though Superman's going to obviously come later. And everything like that.
I mean, I don't know. According to James Cameron, she's one of those skewed younger influences.
Skewed younger influences?
That's what he said that's what he said when he was talking about this chick.
that whole BS bullshit.
No, literally, in what you were just reading about Linda Hamilton, he said, blah, 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 these most recent skewed view. It was obviously about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, look forward to Gal Gadot on SNL next week.
And the following week, Pink is the musical guest.
Yes!
Thank you, Margaret.
Girl power. Anyway, now, an interesting thing that I'm putting this in the Friday news because the address was put out today about it. But basically, earlier in the week, there is a show called Maya the Bee on Netflix. Earlier in the week, it caused quite a stir because apparently someone had stole the images and then it blew up the internet and it was all over the place and everything like that. There's about a 4-second shot in the background on one of like the rocks or something like that, like that has all these etchings or whatever like that. There actually is on one of the rocks a drawn penis. And I will show it to Miss Foxy right.
What is it called?
Maya the Bee. It's actually there. Yep.
I don't think that's supposed to be a penis.
No, look, it is. It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a penis.
Yeah, it is. So basically, obviously, they pulled the episode like right away and everything like that. And people behind the show had actually put out a statement today and everything like that. It goes as follows. In a statement, production group Studio 100 said, an absolute inappropriate image has been discovered in a 4-second flyby scene in one episode of the total of 78 episodes of the series. The origin of this image obviously results from a very bad joke from one of the 150 artists working on the production. This is indeed unacceptable to the Studio 100 group as owner of the brand and all its partners, and doesn't reflect the quality of its work and its values. The statement continued, legal action has already been started. Studio 100 very much regrets the incident and would like to offer its sincere apologies to all Maya the Bee fans. At the same time, the company is taking all the suitable technical measures to remedy this situation.
Well then.
So how did an artist or whatever not think they were gonna get busted on this?
Because like they just said, it was a 4-second scene, so.
Yeah, but in the same token, again, given the image, and you could click on the article on our thing, and you could actually see it for yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's no question. It's there. It's like
It's a penis.
it's a fucking because she was saying at first it wasn't, but then I didn't enlarge it enough, and then she was like, "Oh no, that's a that's a penis." And then, like, so yeah, like that's just crazy. And it's like, how did that even get by? Because I would assume there's people that have to test view these things or to watch these things. Like, how do these things slip by?
Because, again, I mean, if it was just in the background of a 4-second scene and you're watching the show and you're more so engrossed in the story and the main characters, you're not paying attention to backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, you aren't. It's probably something that, like, a casual fan would have recognized after viewing it a couple of times, you know, but when, you know, with modern technology, you know, people sit there frame for frame just watching everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like how, you know, up until past 10, maybe 20 years, that people started realizing all these things in the Disney movies. All these hidden things. It's like they got by because, you know, as you're first initially watching it, you're not noticing it.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to all these things. And then, you know, by the 5th, 6th time, you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Hold on here.
That is not appropriate.
Yeah. All right. Before I get to the what the fuck, Spike actually has a tidbit this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bombshell.
Yeah, recently I figured this out. One of the mystery boxes that I subscribe to is 2 boxes from Nerd Block, horror and sci-fi, whatever you want to call it. I noticed that I didn't get the boxes last month and this one because it's becoming late, so I'm curious, like, what the fuck's going on? So, first thing I did was I went to check on YouTube, see if people posted unboxing videos, because it's happened before if it's late. And I didn't find anything new, but I saw people doing, like, the last Nerd Blog, Rest in Peace. I'm like, what? What's going on here? So then I actually went to their main website. Immediately, as soon as you go on, it says, like, we're temporarily, like, shut down, stuff like that. And I'm just really confused. So I read some articles, and apparently they kind of went out of bankrupt, sort of, because they owe, like, a lot amount of money to brands like Funko and a bunch of other things. And so, but so far they are saying that they're, like, taking a little break.
Taking a hiatus.
Taking a hiatus, but I
They're
think
never going to come back.
might. They pretty much probably are just gone.
Because, I mean, first it started with Nerd Block, and then came Arcade Block, which was the all video gamer one that I used to subscribe to.
Yeah.
Then came the Sci-Fi Block, which they turned into Sci-Fan, which is Sci-Fi Fantasy, and then there was also Horror Block. So I can imagine that all of that obviously cost a shit ton of money.
But I'm surprised because they are like the #1
They
mystery
were
boxes. I
yeah,
thought, you know,
absolutely.
Someone's not paying the bills at the end of the day. If Funko's, because I mean, we're not talking about Funko that just started out anymore. I mean, Funko is a giant.
Yeah.
In the toy industry
They
now,
even have their own
collectible industry.
They have their own headquarters now that you can go visit.
They're opening up straight up Funko stores.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So like they're a powerhouse now. You know, we're not talking about the little mom and pop shop, you know, or anything like that had like a couple little things and they were cute. Like now they have like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're not a Funko collector, 9 times out of 10, everybody at least has a Funko of some sort of interest at their work desk or in their house.
Yeah.
Even if they don't collect Funkos, everybody's pretty much got one at this point.
But I mean, even Funko aside, like the magazine subscriptions, like in Horror Block, you would get the once a month copy of Rue Morgue.
Yeah.
And that's an expensive fucking horror magazine to get. Like if you go to Barnes and Nobles and find that shit, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, magazines are like $12 and change now. And shit. Yeah.
And just the quality of items that they do get is absolutely amazing. So, yeah. Whoops.
So, for those of you that get that, that's pretty much what's going on. I saved the what the fuck for the end.
Of course.
Because Miss Foxy requested we save it for this week. It was something that happened last week. I read further into it. It wasn't so much people complaining about it. It was like just how much it was. Okay, Mario Odyssey is coming out very, very soon, and they've been promoting it left and right. And one of the things is a beach level and everything like that. So for the first time, we saw Mario in a pair of swim trunks and nipples. Mario had nipples. And